Every single winter, I am triggered into this crazy amalgam of emotions. Extreme joy, road closures, treacherous conditions, school closures, power outages, car accidents. But somehow it all leads to a great peace of mind, some sort of sick solitude. You just can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. No matter how much I love New England, when Costa Rica calls, you go. Once you do all the research and you learn as much as you can about Costa Rica, you begin to realize that the Osa Peninsula is this hidden jewel that just requires the courage and a few extra bucks to jump on an 8-seater and head south down towards Panama to find it. Peering down into the rainforest, I can't even comprehend the opportunity of discovery. But before we dive into the Osa Peninsula, I've just identified another amazing behavior in Homo sapiens. Race has adapted the language to lie. And psychologists say it's a big sign of intelligence. Check this out. Folks, we've just identified an amazing behavior in Homo sapien. I'm here in the middle of an amazing ecosystem in Costa Rica. I turn to my right. I ask Race if he has brushed his teeth yet. And do you know what he says to me? He says, I believe I have. Now, this guy is 8 years old. Yes, I believe I have. It was as if I was watching the Iran-Contra hearings on CNN and Oliver North giving reports as to whether he knew. This kid's only 8 and he already has picked up the language required to lie. The roads are worse than I anticipated. But I got Chuck Anicelli riding shotgun.
Right there, guys.
Just an hour on the Osa Peninsula. We got our rent-a-car, headed to Tres Palmas, and smack right into the middle of a troop of white-faced capuchin monkeys. Check this out.
Named him Bungie.
The first thing I want to make clear is these are wild animals. These are wild monkeys. This is not a zoo, not a wildlife preserve. We're not even in a national park at this point. This is just life on the Osa Peninsula. The white-faced capuchin monkey, like all primates, including us, are highly social animals. They form troops or small groups of like 20, and they will stay together, live, eat, sleep, and breed for a generation. The gestation period of these creatures is about 150 days. So it takes quite a while for young to develop. And once they do, it takes a couple of years before a young white capuchin has been weaned off mama's milk and then can just sustain itself on fruits and insects and small animals like frogs and birds.
This is insane. White-faced.
Stand my side. You stay here.
White-faced capuchin. White-faced capuchin. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Hop in. White-faced capuchins! White-faced capuchins!
It's probably hard to see them that close, right, Chuck?
We did it!
As we pulled into the driveway leading up to Tres Palmas, I began to feel a little bit nervous. Everything we read about this place seemed too good to be true. And after all, how many times have we all been disappointed by accommodations based on what we saw online? But with each passing moment of our approach, it became obvious. We knocked it out of the park with this one. As we unpacked all of the groceries we needed for the week, nothing could have prepared us for what we were about to see. Everybody was awestruck. Our own private rainforest observatory overlooking the Pacific Ocean. This is Expedition Earth.
Are you freaking
Stick with
kidding
us.
me?
What is this place for? People that are really rich or something? We paid too much.
Where'd they go? Where did they go? Where are you? Where are you? Oh my gosh. Here. I got him. Oh my God, I got it. Oh, I got that.
It's only been about 20 minutes since we arrived at Tres Palmas. We haven't even unpacked our gear. And out of nowhere, this troop of spider monkeys, our second primate within the hour, decides to join the party. These guys are feasting on the fruits and nuts of these trees here on the property. The spider monkey has what is called a prehensile tail. It's really a fancy way of saying it's got a fifth limb. It enables them to grip and grab branches, maintain balance. It's almost like an additional arm or hand. A spider monkey is arboreal most of the time, and for obvious reason. Some of its biggest predators are from the cat family, like the jaguar and the puma. So these guys have had to learn how to live in the trees. Unlike the spider monkeys that are probably sleeping right now, we got the bright idea to go look for venomous snakes in the middle of the night. Check this out.
Most people run and hide at the possibility of seeing a venomous snake, except this expedition, that's what we're looking for.
Every single ecosystem on the planet has a diurnal side of activity and a nocturnal side of activity. Most of us just go to sleep at night and just forget all about the creatures that are active at night. This is what you gotta see. This is insane. Look at these wasps. I am shocked to see that they're actually so low. Most of the wasps that we have back in New England would be higher up in the tree canopy. Then, out of nowhere, all hell breaks loose. It's a scorpion, a giant one, walking amongst an army of leafcutter ants. Check this out. Before anybody has a panic attack here, let's get a couple things straight. This scorpion does not present a life-threatening problem to human beings. Obviously, the sting would hurt like heck, but you're not going to die. Same thing with these ants. This is not a group of ants that are known to be harmful or dangerous to humans. These girls are just interested in harvesting leaves that could then be chewed and processed into fungus to feed the colony.
Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Leaf cutter ants. Millions. Harvesting at night.
Ants in general have very poor eyesight. So what they do is they drop chemical compounds onto the ground, pheromones as they're known. That's what they do. They follow the scent. So that's how they know where to go in the middle of the night. For some of you, this might look like a nightmare. But for Chuck, Race, and I, these giant cockroaches are a dream come true. And then it dawns on me. Where are all the snakes? Marvin suggests the full moon could be part of the problem. But nobody seems to care. We've got endangered amphibians bouncing around the forest floor. And then, only moments later, I catch a glimpse of a web in my video light. Sure enough, we get closer. It's a spectacular golden orb weaver spider. This is a female. Females are sexually dimorphic, so this is much, much bigger than a male. The chemical composition of these webs is so powerful and so flexible. Scientists are studying every aspect of this creature.
Once again, the most amazing part of looking for snakes is all the other things you find while you're looking for snakes. Everything from scorpions to leafcutter ants, spiders, cockroaches.
For those of you just joining us, this is Expedition Earth. We're on a mission to explore the Osa Peninsula like never before. And we're just getting started. So stick with us.
Listen to this, the howler monkeys.
My favorite part of travel is when you go to places that just don't even land on a map. Take a look at what we found here.
What happened? What happened?
So we were just walking here, and then we saw some skunk macaws up there, you see? There's one right there.
Again, for those of you just joining us, how can I impress upon you the fact that this is not a zoo, it's not a nature preserve, it's just this isolated beach? You are looking at the largest species of parrot in the world. It's right above our heads. There's dozens of them. Vibrant colors. I mean, the feathers are just outrageously beautiful. Not to mention the beak. Those blazing eyes. But once again, thanks to the pet trade, these guys are getting ripped from the wild. People even here in Costa Rica, where they're very conscientious about conservation, so they're scooping up the eggs, selling them for a couple $100. Just ridiculous.
I'm standing beneath a scarlet macaw. Race saw him. People around us on the beach. This is a place we don't even know where we are exactly. He's munching on these fruits. There's another one up there too.
When you piece together the puzzle, it all begins to make perfect sense. These are the avian branch of what was once known as a dinosaur. They had color. Tremendous variations. These are the survivors from a time long ago.
Their beaks have developed and evolved to take this and to completely crunch it. I mean, if I put this in my mouth, uh-oh. Should I have not done that?
Nothing could have prepared us for the most amazing wildlife on the planet right here on the Osa Peninsula.
It's kind of sweet. It's not bad. It's kind of sweet. It's not bad. My molars could crush this thing. Piece of cake. Are you saying that this is a monogamous relationship in some respects?
Yes, it is, exactly. Exactly.
Folks, there's no rings, there's no vows, there's no necessity for any legal contract with the scarlet macaw, there's no alimony. They make a commitment to breed for life. This is a lesson human beings all over the planet can learn. Stop the fighting. There's no reason to fight. Love one another. Ava just identified a spider monkey with a juvenile. She's got a baby. Forget all about Venice.
At first, all we could see was some rustling of the leaves up in the trees. All of a sudden, we get a magnificent view of this female hanging from her prehensile tail. Then, just 20 yards to the left, it's a female with her young, feeding together, peeling open the pea pods, feasting on the fruits inside. Spider monkeys are endangered in Costa Rica. Habitat loss and poaching are a couple of the biggest culprits. Again, I have to just keep reminding you, this is not a zoo or a nature preserve. This is life at Tres Palmas in Costa Rica. Chuck Aniselli is really the inspiration behind this trip to the Osa Peninsula. He's been talking about this place for years. We finally bit the bullet, set up the trip.
90% of finding wildlife is knowing when and where to look for it. I'd say most people miss out on all the nocturnal creatures because they just think, how am I going to catch them? Tonight, we have a trail cam. We're going to set up, put a little bit of bait, some fruit, put it down right in front of an area where we believe we can attract some creatures.
That way, you know, unless you want to get the towel out of there.
Yes. Gotta try to get out of here as quick as we can. We don't want our human scent to overwhelm this place. But there's an opportunity that we could get a close-up encounter with something like a coati, which I've never gotten that close to. Earlier today we saw one right in this area, but he was gone in a lickety-split. This is insane. Hooded mantis.
Moments later and only yards away, Chuck captures this amazing gecko. Check this out. It's obvious this is a gravid female. She's loaded with young. After quick inspections, back she goes to the wild to continue breeding and keeping the insect populations in check.
Hi everybody, Ray Sucker here with Expedition Earth. This was a total shocker. Right next to Chuck Andesley's cabina at about 5 o'clock in the morning, a huge pack of white-nosed coati came in for breakfast. Check this out.
These guys are omnivores, but today it's just fruit that's on the menu. What's really amazing is that there's no fighting, there's no squabbling, just pure cooperation amongst all the members of the pack. And check this out. One of these guys got awfully close to our trail cam, sniffing it and licking it. My theory is, no matter how hard I tried to minimize handling the trail cam, these guys still picked up my scent. I didn't realize this, but the white-nosed coati is found in parts of the United States, New Mexico, and in Arizona. This mammal is extremely well adapted to life in the rainforest, eating everything from insects to eggs, snakes, carrion, and as much fruit as he can find. But wait a minute, take a look at this. Spider monkeys have decided to come in and share the habitat. They, too, are feasting on the fruits that have fallen on the ground. And check out this one. Utilizing the prehensile tail to actually grab a branch when it's standing on the ground. Another example of how valuable that fifth limb is to provide balance and a quick leg up on a predator. Yank itself off the ground and into the trees. Speaking of trees, take a look up top here. We had just begun the afternoon hike when I heard this weird dripping sound out in the middle of the rainforest. Something just didn't add up. It hadn't rained in weeks. This is absolutely crazy. It's a gigantic reptile. Salivating. The green iguana is considered endangered in Costa Rica. So we're going to give this guy plenty of room. These guys are strictly known to be herbivores, only feeding on the fruits and leaf matter in the rainforest.
We started our hike about 20 seconds ago. I heard this weird dripping noise. The iguana was salivating. I have no idea why. He's hung upright on top of the papaya trees.
We are looking into the prehistoric past every time we see a reptile. This is life on the Osa Peninsula, a part of Costa Rica most folks never get a chance to experience. Expedition Earth, stick with us. Okay, folks, we're just about out of time for this episode of our two-part series on the Osa Peninsula. But before we go, take a quick look at this. Thanks to the help of Marvin, our trusted Tres Palmas guide, we got a tip on where to find some of the biggest reptiles on Earth. Massive 1,000-pound sea turtles called loggerheads and olive ridleys, laying their eggs on the same beach for thousands of years. But the question is, will we be lucky enough to witness this magical event? To find out that answer and learn more about the Osa Peninsula, check back next week for another episode of Expedition Earth. Thanks again for joining us. See you back next time.